Welcome to Minecraft Building Tips. Let's get started. Building tip number 1. And so my first tip will be to use a variety of blocks. So say we have okay, let me show an example actually of what some people do. People will just kind of do something like this, and then they'll take their glass blocks and they'll call it a day. This is a wall in their house. I feel like people, I don't know, I feel like it's easier if you see it showed, like if I show how it looks wrong one way, or if it just simply doesn't look as good. So use a lot of various different blocks. So I've just used 2 kind of different tones or whatever of blocks, but it really does change it. My next tip is going to build on walls. I'll take a log, and what people do is they think that logs look very nice. I'm not saying they don't. Logs do look very nice, but if you have them flush with the rest of the build and you don't have any depth, like a lot of people, when they use logs for corners in their builds, they kind of, how do I put this? They kind of leave it flush with it, and it looks fine, like the color choice or whatever is good, and everything they do is good, but what they don't do is have it extended out like that. So if you have a lot of depth, that's one of the reasons I use glass panes in my builds, is because, like, you know, there's depth, because it kind of pushes in, instead of, like, you know, normal glass where you have just a flat block flat with the rest of the thing. You want it to be varied. You want it to go in and out, kind of. Not too much, just enough to make it look pretty nice. So as I've also built right here, depth can also be used in stairs as like being used for roofs. So say you've got a roof made out of stairs. I know this isn't really the best block choice for a roof, but just bear with me. If you've got stairs on your roof and then you have them flush, again, like flush being flat with the rest of the roof, it just doesn't look right. I feel like it really helps to have a lot of depth in the stairs. So here we go, like that. It just looks a lot better. It just kind of does. Also, I've seen some people do this where they have blocks under it. The frame looks a lot thicker and it looks a lot nicer. So my next tip involves lighting. So if we step into our house, this is a very basic house, you know, but essentially the problem here is not the horrendous roof, not the roof being, you know, super small, but it's just how dark it is without. The door does help it become brighter, but let's just say this, and it's nighttime, it's just dark, and it doesn't look good at all with, you know, the amount of light. And obviously, I know a lot of people will put torches. That's the obvious solution. Torches, okay. But, you know, a torch or 2 will do the trick. It looks nice, I guess. But natural lighting, so using light from the outside, is a very important thing. So when you have it like this, let me fix this little thing on the outside. That's bothering me. Not anything else about this build. Nothing about this build is bothering me. Just kidding. But yeah, you'll see that using the natural lighting, even if I do block it off, is still just as bright, even brighter than torches. So it, all in all, really helps your build out when you use natural lighting. I know, I know it doesn't, I know. My next tip is about large walls. So if you have a large wall like this, say you're building some giant castle and this is the side of it, a mistake that a lot of people make, and a mistake that I make a lot, is using the same block over the entire, like you know, you scope out, look at the whole thing, everything is one block, is all smooth stone in this case. And one thing that really helps, I actually find if it's stone, one of my favorite things to do with stone is just take this, take the chiseled stone bricks, and just add like a few vertical stripes of them. Not even too much, like this 2 looks okay, but if you make a nice design with them, so say you have, what would look good on a giant wall? Maybe a hook on each side. You know, something like all right. So that, yeah, something like that. Honestly, it really doesn't matter what you do with it, as long as you are thinking about how it will, how it will affect. Like, you don't want it to obviously take up too much. Like, the main block is still, your main block, but you want to have a secondary or like a tertiary even. So say I have like a lodestone or something. I can add them in somewhere, and you just want to make sure it doesn't like strip away too much from this though. Like, I feel like maybe I've done a little bit too much. I can still take some away. I can still fix it. And just make it a little bit less dominant over the entire thing. The next tip involves animals and how you keep your animals in pens or in fences. So, right here, I've got a little fence, and say I'm gonna make it a cow farm. I'm gonna put all the cows that I have right in this fenced off area. You can, a lot of times, someone will just have a fence gate and that'll be it. So I think one thing that is important is having a lantern, actually. Lanterns really help. And if you're using walls, which I actually prefer, say you're using stone brick walls. Stone brick is my favorite block, I would say. We've used stone brick walls instead of fences here. One thing that can really help it is lanterns. They always make it look nicer, and they always make it look brighter. So I'll just put a few cows in here for the effect, Okay, you see all the cows, they're all having a great time. And yeah, it just, I don't know, something about having lanterns really makes it look nice. Let's throw some in right there. Just, I don't know. I don't know what about lanterns makes it better, but it just does. It just kind of, it also brightens it up. That's another thing I was going to say. It brightens up the area, so if it's nighttime, then zombies and stuff won't, like, be near them, so it'll be easy to get to them in the night. So the next tip involves walls, again, except this time it involves wall depth. So if you have a 2-block wide wall, you can have 2 different patterns on it. So say you want a bathroom over here, you can have like a little toilet. How would I make a toilet? Let's see. There we go. Is that right? That's right. So now we've got ourselves a toilet, right? This is our bathroom, and we want to have our bathroom on one side, but we want to have our other room, say our bedroom, on the exact opposite side. You can use a completely different wall from the wall that is here on this side, just because it's 2 blocks thick. So it will make your build slightly bigger, but honestly, I think it's a nice trade-off. Like, bigger build, nicer colors, nicer rooms. My last, final tip is about floors. When you're making a floor in a build, so I've just got a typical kind of a starter house right here. You're gonna want to have a good block choice, obviously. So the block choice will be For this build, how about some logs? I always think that logs are a good way to go for a floor. So like basalt, any block kind of that has this kind of a texture where it goes along that way. So even stone, maybe, if you can really fit it in the right way. But yeah, I'm thinking some logs. So birch logs always seem to kind of light up a room. If your room is feeling kind of bland, then birch logs, they add some nice contrast because they're black and white. And they're just, you know, some nice speckles everywhere just on the birch logs. So, yeah. And if you have a bad block choice for floors, or honestly for anything, but I feel like floors you're going to see a lot when you walk into your house, you're just going to see them everywhere. This, you know, this goes for anything. But if you have a bad block choice, so say we pick like, I don't know. I mean, I don't want it to be very bad. I want people to see, like, like the birch logs look really nice, but say you have like a glazed terracotta that you think looks really cool. Like, maybe it's a little bit cool, but honestly, just put the terracotta everywhere. It's just gonna look kind of weird, and the block choice isn't matching this at all, really. There's no colors that are similar, and it doesn't really complement it, whereas the birch wood, for example, does complement it just fine. Like, where is it? Here it is. The birch logs complement it just fine. Like, they do exactly what you're looking for, which is like make the build look nice. Maybe I should have switched the side, but you still get my point. They do what they were supposed to do, which is like finish off the build and tie it together, because you're going to be seeing this a lot. And that concludes my building tips for Minecraft. If you liked them, I just did like a few. It was kind of on the spot. I just did a couple, and because I thought I would record. But if you did like them, please hit the like thing, hit the subscribe bell, hit the notification bell. I mean, not the subscribe bell, that doesn't exist. I wish it did, but it doesn't. That's pretty much it. That was kind of all I had to say. But yeah, if you would like it, please leave a like and leave a comment, and I will do something similar or something the exact same and do more building tips in the future. As always, thank you very much for watching, and it's been real, it's been good, it's been real good. Peace out.